We have just wrongfully been convicted, and we feel as if we are being kidnapped by the Qatar judicial system.
A Southland couple has been sentenced to 3 years behind bars, thousands of miles away in Qatar. Prosecutors claim the couple starved their 8-year-old adopted daughter to death.
In my 25 years of practicing criminal law, I've never seen as outrageous a prosecution theory as there is in this case.
In America, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. And overseas, that's not always the case.
So Matt and Grace went through a traditional adoption proceeding that's absolutely legal and that is very common in the United States.
When I first met Gloria, she was this little tiny girl. She had this big personality though. She loved to sing and she loved music, dancing, rhythm.
Gloria was my precious little girl. She loved to dress up. She loved to wear pretty clothes. I miss her sweet smile.
I remember being there on the first date. Gloria was just, I think she was 4. She was so little. We were so ready for them. We just loved them. And they immediately became family.
In summer of 2012, my brother-in-law, Matthew, who works for a U.S. engineering firm, got relocated to work in Doha, Qatar, in preparation for the 2022 World Cup. I know how much they love their children. I know how much thought and how they poured themselves into wanting to adopt, and all the education they went through to make sure they could provide the best level of care.
Of our 3 children, Gloria had the most traumatic childhood. She came from an abusive family situation. She was neglected.
Gloria had some specific challenges with going periods of time without eating. Children who have been deprived of normal love and attention and food during the first year of life are at extreme risk of mental health problems and then eating behaviors that are attached to that.
In the days before Gloria passed away, she was going through a food strike where she would not eat. But this was not abnormal for her. This was behavior that Matthew and Grace had been working on.
We did not take Gloria to the hospital when she was refusing to eat because we believed she would come out of these hunger strikes as she had done before. She was lively and active, and there was no reason to suspect any concern with her health.
On March 27th, U.S. citizens Matthew and Grace Huang were convicted and sentenced to 3 years in prison. We have had some concerns throughout the trial by indications that not all of the evidence is weighed by the court, and we were surprised and disappointed by the trial court's decision.
This case completely lacks any type of due process. We have witnesses that testified that they saw Gloria walking the day before she died, and it is not possible that she could have died of starvation the day after she has the energy to walk around. That's not scientifically possible. There was an autopsy that was allegedly done that came up with this idea that this child was starved to death. When Gloria's body was transferred back to the United States, we discovered that the initial autopsy was a total fabrication.
The pathologist actually said that he did not say starvation in his report, and that his cause of death was actually inconclusive.
When you just look at the police reports in this case, you can see the shocking racial issues going on. The officer writes, "Why would anyone adopt black children?" And so right from the beginning, race impacts this case.
Matt and Grace are still detained in Qatar. They're not allowed to leave the country. They're on a travel ban, and we don't know when they will be released or what's going to happen to them.
This process has led us to the point where we have not even begun to grieve the death of Gloria. And I long to even just have a funeral to be able to begin to remember our daughter and her life.
My heart breaks every day when I look at my nephews and I see the trauma they've been through.
I believe that the government needs to allow Matt and Grace to come home, to see their children. The longer that they are separated, the more it hurts those boys. I believe it's a tragedy not only that Gloria dies, not only that Grace and Matt are accused, but it's a travesty of what's happening to these boys.
We know that there are thousands of people around the world who are praying for us, and we're greatly appreciative of the support and prayers of many.